How's it going, guys? Black-Shenron here. I was planning on posting this video yesterday on the 4th of July, but I was planning on recording this yesterday. But yesterday was pretty hectic. Went to a 4th of July party. Almost got arrested twice in one day. And a lot of things happened. I don't want to get into that right now. Unless you guys want a story time, let me know if you are interested. But it's not what you came here for. My birthday is on the 11th, a few days away. So it's a birthday present to me. Why don't you just press that subscribe button? We're almost at 900 subs. I'm trying to hit 1K by the time we hit August. I know it's a bit far-fetched, but I feel like we can make it there due to a conglomerate effort to everyone. So, if you're not subscribed already, please hit that button. If you haven't hit the bell yet, please hit that bell so you can get my content earlier. Anyway, let's begin. This is what if Broly was inside the MCU. We start this riff off with a pod flying from the sky. We're going to center this around the older Broly. Unless you guys want me to use the newer Broly, I personally enjoy the older Broly. Oh, I can't even speak. I personally enjoy the older Broly more because he's a badass. Although his origin story was pretty dumb in that one. So, a pod shoots out right before the Battle of New York, which causes the Avengers to unite. While the Avengers were fighting their respective fights, a pod flies from space, crashing into one of the larger monsters, bringing it down instantly, and making its way into a building. This actually kind of stops everything for a moment, because nobody really knows what the hell is going on. Some of them assume that it's a spacewalk and just resume fighting. Others are a bit more curious. This is when Tony makes his way over to it. At first he thought it might have been an asteroid, but realizing its cylindrical form and everything like that, he thinks that it might be a piece of technology which would be pretty useful. So, while everyone's fighting, he tries to hide it away. Not really looking inside of it because the battlefield is pretty hectic. He picks it up and tosses it into one of the buildings. It is already destroyed and quite a bit away from the fighting. As the Battle of New York rages on, things become more and more hectic until the Avengers eventually win. Before they leave, Tony grabs Cap's attention. See that? While the fighting was going on, he saw something. And he shows Cap the pod. A few days later, Cap and Tony are having a conversation. Tony's explaining to him how the pod itself, we're just going to say that the glass is clouded. He said that the pod itself has a propulsion system, although being entirely spherical and not really having any visible engines. And it is also incredibly durable, seeing as it fell from the atmosphere onto the city with almost no damage to it at all. Dr. Banner chimes in saying that there's energy inside this pod. It's actually pretty large. It's actually pretty large. So they decide to open up the pod, and they see a pretty tall, lanky man. We're gonna say that this is a defeated Broly. Instead of him being destroyed with the planet, he had actually not destroyed Paragus' original pod, only killing his father, and his injured body was enough for him to make it to the pod and launch back into Earth. But he made his way into a wormhole, bring him to an alternate universe. At this point, he is the only thing that was keeping him alive was the life support systems on the pod. We know these exist due to the fact that Vegeta actually used one when he left Earth. If he hadn't, he'd probably be dead. So they bring him out and begin helping him. Broly is in a coma at this point. Upon really getting into healing his wounds and stitching up his open injuries and everything like that, they realize that he's not really human. Sure, he's quite human-like. There's a lot of organs of a normal human, but his DNA says that he's something else. Most of the instruments that they use on him can't even penetrate his skin. And although he's around 6'4" and pretty lengthy, his mass does not at all correlate to that weight. Although only is looking to be around 180 pounds at most, he's as heavy as 800 pounds. And using an x-ray, they see that his muscle mass is actually much larger than it actually appears to be. His muscles are incredibly dense. It's as if they compress themselves. And the energy he himself is radiating is off the charts. The more he heals, the more energy I can sense from within him. He still hasn't woken up, but everyone begins to think that maybe it's a good idea to put whoever this is inside a cage. Most of their weapons and medical tools can't even cut his skin. And they're actually pretty terrified to think that what type of being could cause these types of injuries on this monster, beating him into such a state that he's even inside a coma. And he was near death when they had originally found him. So he's brought to a secret base on S.H.I.E.L.D. However, this base is actually looked over by Tony Stark, seeing as he has found him. He's actually able to interact and study the creature known as Broly, although they do not know his name. So, one night, after everyone leaves the facility, except for the core staff, we see Broly, still with his eyes closed, but he mutters something. It's actually pretty hard to make out at first, until you slowly hear it. Kakarot. That's the end of this part. If you guys like it, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. Or you can go hit my PayPal inside the comment section. If you don't want to, not forcing you, but if you do, I'd appreciate it. Take a birthday gifts. See you guys later. Black-Shenron out.